So Stacey and I, as we talked before, we love watching independent movies. I don't know why we put ourselves through this hell, because everybody wants to be artsy. Mm-hmm. So in an indie movie, especially indie horror, so if we're watching an indie horror movie, you can bet on the fact that it's barely going to make sense, mm-hmm. but you're pretentious enough to believe that you understand what kind of sense it's making.
Right. Like it's some kind of really artsy, obscure, only super smart people get it kind of movie, when really it's probably just nonsense.
No, absolutely. It's the Red Door thing, right?
Our problem is when we get invested in a movie, like once you get so far in, even if it's horrible, we won't turn it off because we're like, this has to get better.
Yeah.
We've already watched it for an hour. We're just going to finish it.
I don't know, man. I tell you, it's like we got this Kubrick thing about us. Mm-hmm. So we think every director is Stanley Kubrick, and they're going to be hiding something under a pillow or something that we need to find.
We're looking for hidden meanings.
We have a lot of fun watching stuff. We're just let down quite often. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One of the things we watched this past week, though, was actually kind of funny because we love Mystery Science Theater, and mm-hmm. we also love Riff Tracks, which is, came after Mystery Science, still going on. Mm-hmm. They just don't put all the robots and all that stuff. Same guys.
Right.
And so if you have Amazon Prime, there's a shit ton of them mm-hmm. that you can watch. Mm-hmm. And we got one the other night. We never finish them because they're funny as can be, but it's kind of like, I don't know, that kind of comedy is kind of like porn. Like when you get your big laugh out of the way,
right? It's all kind of downhill from there.
You're just kind of like, well, why am I still watching this? I don't have no reason to watch it,
right?
And it's never compelling enough, mm-hmm. like porn,
because the movies are so horrible,
right? It's not compelling enough. Like you don't need to know what happens to the mailman,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So the plot doesn't matter. But one we watched the other night,
oh God,
well. It had to be mm-hmm. the most laughs mm-hmm. just from the absolute wretched nature of this. It was so bad that I almost got in my vehicle and drove to California to where it was filmed. Stacey doesn't realize how serious I was. I was looking up on my phone exactly where it was. I was looking up and seeing if there was stores mm-hmm. with the company I work for in this area, because I fell in love with this horrible area that was on here because of just.
I'm sure the area is very nice. The movie was not that great.
Oh my God! So we watched this movie, and do you remember the name?
Yeah, it's Birdemic.
Okay, so we watched Birdemic, and for any of you cult movie fans out there who have not seen Birdemic,
oh wow,
you have to go out of your way. Mm-hmm. To watch Birdemic,
even if you don't watch the Riff Tracks version,
but
just watch the regular movie.
Yeah, you can watch the regular version, but the Riff Tracks version is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty funny. So this movie is still tripping me out. It is still true. I still think about this guy in the woods. Like I still think about why did they even put that part in there? So basically, imagine AOC made a movie, okay, using AOC's brain. She actually, they're like, you know what, Alexandria, we really believe in you. Mm-hmm. Okay, we believe in the Green New Deal. Mm-hmm. We need to get that message out to everyone. Mm-hmm. So go to California. They're going to love you there. And just, please make this movie. Here's $30. Okay. And my dad's Canon. Okay. Not like a cannon, but like a video camera cannon. Anyway. Uh-huh. And the reason I say that, it was very Greenpeace-y. It was very, very...
I'll say the premise of the movie was these eagles would attack, and turkey buzzards. Eagles and turkey buzzards were attacking this town.
But was that the premise of the movie? Because, listen, the best part of it, how long did we have to wait for anything to happen with a bird?
45 minutes into it, there wasn't a single bird in the whole movie. We're like, this is Birdemic, and we're watching this guy and this girl go out on dates. I don't understand what's happening
Somewhere around 30 minutes, when they were on the beach, if we seen an actual seagull in the distance, Stacey'd be like, do you think that's it? Do you think that's it? He's flying like toward him a little bit. No, it just went off to the left.
Well, the whole point was that the birds were attacking because, like the gas stations and stuff, because everybody, the whole planet, fossil fuels were killing the planet, and And,
Yeah.
very political
Very
statements.
political.
There was even this one couple in the movie. They had nothing to do with the story. They just showed them, like, okay, they were the friends, and they only showed them so the girl could push her like,
It was a Yoko Ono shirt.
yeah, like her website and her.
It was
whatever.
Imagine.
Imagine Peace.
Yeah,
And
Imagine
she wore,
Peace.
Every shirt she wore said Imagine Peace. She had signs. Every time you saw her, there'd be a sign over her head.
and they had a sex scene where she's wearing a bathing suit for no apparent reason. Like, she's riding this guy, and if there's kids listening right now, I meant she was writing him like a letter. So she's writing him a letter in the bed, and that she's wearing a bathing suit.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to see the nudity. It's not that.
No.
But we were kind of curious about, why did you go here with this guy? Because, I mean, she had regular clothes on to start with. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, hey, I happen to wear, it's a spree, I hope you like it. So yeah, that was really strange. And there is no way to really put into words when they do show up. And
birds. Geez.
When the birds show up, so it would have been better if they had got taxidermy birds and just threw them from off camera and hit people in the head.
Right. That would have been much better than what they had.
So they had the worst form of CGI. I mean, this CGI.
They were like these computer-generated birds that didn't even flap their wings. They just sort of glided around everywhere, and they would hover, but they didn't flap their wings. And they were like always in the same positions exactly.
They hovered. Can eagles do that?
I don't know, but they didn't change their positions. Like they just kept one position, and sort of moved around the screen. Oh God!
And for some reason, there's a turkey buzzard.
And
it's
then
like
like
eagles and a turkey.
Like
buzzard.
the eagles and the turkey buzzards joined forces, and then just when we thought we knew everything that was to know about Birdemic, the bird exploded with green acid. Yes. Like it peed green acid.
Yeah, it peed green acid.
And people died because the bird dive bombed them and exploded. Like they were kamikaze birds. They were like dive bombing everywhere.
When the birds first show up, everything goes from normal. And honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. The first 45 minutes, I'm kind of getting into the relationship part of it.
Yeah, I sort of wanted to see where that was going to go.
It was like, it wasn't that. I mean, the acting was terrible, but it wasn't so bad that, I have to watch Hallmark movies with Stacey. So I'm kind of used to that acting. Like, hi. Oh, what am I going to do? My ex-boyfriend's in town. I really like you, though. But so I'm kind of used to that a little bit. And I'm sorry about the laughing, but all right. When they show up, all of a sudden you see this city scene. And it's just buildings exploding and
birds flying.
Birds flying everywhere. And this one 15-second track of seagulls. But there's no seagulls anywhere, but it's like and it's just over and over. So we have the surround sound gimmick, so we have a speaker in each ear. And all it is like and it's so horrible. And so you at that point, you can't turn that off. And like she said, there's scenes in the movie that just don't belong, and they put it in there just to yeah, sure, Paul, Mary, come on, we'll put it in there. And then I don't want to give away the ending because I really want you guys to watch it. But there is something that comes to save the day that is just a gem. It makes no sense. And Stacey, my sweet, lovely Stacey, we can be watching the crappiest movie of all time, which this has to be.
Right.
I mean, I can't think. I would watch Ishtar 10 times. 10 times before I would watch this one again. Oh. Okay? But the thing is, Stacey at the end of it, she's fussing. Okay, you gotta understand.
You can be honest. I'm screaming at the television.
When she finally pops, when Stacey pops, she pops. All right. So right at the end of it, the credits are going. She's like, "They're not explaining it." They're not explaining it. Why did they show up? Where are they going? Is everything over? And it was just like,
I was like, what's happening?
she was like wanting the end of Animal House.
I was like, why are the birds flying away, but they're not getting any smaller? I don't understand what's happening here.
Stacey wants to see, Eagle number 2 went on to host a game show.
No, I just really wanted them to explain how everything was suddenly all over.
My favorite part of the movie, they go into the woods for some reason, and they had these kids with them that weren't their kids.
Mm-hmm. But their parents are dead now,
yeah,
so I guess they've adopted them.
Their parents are dead, so they just have these kids with them. And every time they show, okay, without saying, 5 hours have passed, every time they show, like 20 seconds, scene to scene, the kids will be like, "I'm thirsty." And so the first couple times it didn't really bother Stacey, okay? So it was literally within a 5-minute period. They had just went into a store and took like a 24-pack of water.
Yes.
Okay, there's 4 of them. So then they stop again and they get water. So it's a few seconds pass and the kids are like, "I'm thirsty," and Stacey's like, "Jesus Christ! What's wrong with those kids?"
And nobody used the bathroom.
Yeah,
It's like they had all this water.
So they take them to this fresh stream. They're like, "Hey, let's get some fresh water," because that's what you want to drink during a birdemic.
They didn't run out of gas.
Yes, ever. But they get in there and there's some guy and he's up in a tree and he like comes down. And he's like, "I'm a tree hugger," and he's talking about the trees. He's like,
his horrible hair.
He's like, it was a wig. It was like some bald old man that they put this like hippie wig on. That was like, it's like the guy at church. The guy at church when you were growing up, okay? There was always the guy at church that sat like in the front couple of rows, and he would have that toupee on that was kind of sideways. It was always, it looked like it looked like a hamster had died on his head. And, but no one ever said anything.
Right. It wasn't really stuck down on the sides well.
Yeah. Yeah. His name's Harry, but yeah, it was like that. But all of a sudden, this guy's giving his big diatribe, okay, and it's all about the environment, and it's, he's talking about, he's got a speech. That speech goes 5 minutes, and he's just like, "Well, I'll tell you, if you ever watch Beavis and Butthead, there was this long-haired hippie guy that was like the camp counselor, and he would always be like, 'Now, boys,' he would never lose his cool or anything.
Right.
It was like that guy. And then all of a sudden, there's this big roar.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "I gotta go. It's a mountain lion."
I hear a mountain lion. I should probably go. And then he leaves, and there's like these people and kids, and there's a mountain lion, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah, and they didn't even run. No. The girl is always smiling at the kids. It's like there's a mountain lion. She's like, "Oh, come on, children. Are you thirsty?" So anyway, Birdemic, we have to talk about that. So if in the nature and the vein of movies, all right, and I'm telling you, this is why our house is haunted.
And there's even a song. John has a new favorite song now.
Oh my God!
You can find it on YouTube.
Oh my God! It's Keeping It in the Family or whatever. It was like it got in my head, and it was literally wrote for the damn thing. Because they were supposed to be in a packed nightclub, and it was
just them.
It was just these 2 people, and this soul singer, and he would go into a rap, like not just a rap, but like a terrible rap, like one of those that they make. I'll go church again, when they make the rap song at church about Jesus,
right?
And it's some 40-year-old white guy, and he's just like,
he's trying to relate.
Yeah, he's like, "That's no problem. We'll put it in a pod. Let's do another move for God." And it's one of those, don't do drugs kind of raps.
Right.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. Absolutely horrible.
I don't know. I think that's going to go down as one of my favorite movies ever.